We've retired. We're leaving today. We worked up until the Friday, left on the Saturday.
Do you reckon this is Christmas and it's summer and it's about, what, 20 degrees? Yeah.
Still hard to imagine the last couple of weeks in the house.
We're slightly in shock of the difference between the tropics and the summer of New Zealand. All right, 2 weeks into retirement. It feels like a second ago, but we've come all the way from Cairns to Sydney and we're now in Christchurch.
There's a lot has happened in the last couple of weeks, so we better start with telling you how it all began in
What's
Cairns.
happening? Yeah, what's happening? Here we are.
That's us at the airport now, all checked in, ready to leave Cairns.
Sort of a bit like stunned mullets.
Doesn't really feel like we're leaving more than just we're going on a holiday now. It's just the same as going to the airport any other time. But that's it. We've retired. We're leaving. We've got everything. We haven't forgotten anything because there's nothing left in the house. So at least there's that. But yeah, let the adventures begin.
Oh, just exhausted, but have a sleep, reset, be in Sydney, catch up with family. That sounds like a great first step.
Yeah.
So exciting.
Time to go.
So we're leaving on a jet plane, pretty exciting. The humidity was high and it was time to start working out what we had in our bags. So we just got onto the plane and found out in my bum bag all the good things I've got. American dollars, don't remember putting them there. That's
got a rucksack in his bum bag.
Yeah.
And a towel.
Yeah, and a towel. Who knows what could even fit in there. So we're ready for anything.
I'm ready to sleep.
It was great to be picked up from home, dropped off at the airport, and then up into the sky, flying out over the Great Barrier Reef towards Sydney. It was almost a bit of a Finding Nemo moment as we arrived in Sydney. The trains would move apart, and then you never knew what you would see next. Ta-da!
Harbour Bridge, Upper House is just around the corner.
Some city cats.
But it just feels like we're on holiday at the moment. I'm already
Yeah, what do you reckon? This is Christmas and it's summer and it's about, what, 20 degrees? Yeah.
Being used to 33 all the time and not having to think about what you wear because it's just hot from the minute you get up and you go to bed. It's wearing clothes I haven't worn in a long time.
The flight down to Sydney was fairly uneventful, which is probably good. We arrived in Sydney, just like Finding Nemo. We got picked up actually by my brother who lives out near the Blue Mountains. So other than a day in Sydney, which is what we're kind of working through at the moment, we had a great time where the weather was cold up in the mountains compared to the city. But yeah, the Blue Mountains were amazing, and then we came into the city, had a wander about. There was some pretty unusual art. It kind of reminded me of some of the creations that my mum used to make when I was younger. There were always blue men, but yeah, you never quite knew what would happen next. The nieces and nephews had grown up, so it was great catching up with them. But as we walk, as we often do, it sort of lets you think a little bit more, and we started to reflect a bit about just how crazy the last few weeks had been.
All right, so we finished work on Friday. It is now Monday. It was kind of frantic the last couple of weeks that we were home. I think we logistically did very well organising our house and stuff and everything because it's been 2 years of planning. I think we did very well in that sense, organising things, except for maybe the last couple of weeks.
3 weeks out, it just sort of all got a bit too much, and there was too much going on, and trying to do work and tidy and eat and plan and...
Yeah, I think we left too much till the last... I didn't think we'd left so much till the end. Like, I didn't think we'd left too much stuff. I thought we'd culled things so that we had very little left for our last week or two, but it turned out we had quite a lot left.
Yeah, what, like about 12 bags full?
Because we managed a last trip to the charity shop even after we'd sold our last car. So really we should have, I don't know, I felt like I was going to the charity shop just about every week.
Well, almost every day for a little while.
We had too much stuff. But
But really, most of it by the end was rubbish, like extra crockery that we didn't need, extra towels that we didn't need.
Yeah, like 5 billion towels that we kept them in case we needed them for cleaning. Why we would need like 20 towels for cleaning, I don't know.
When it wasn't dirty anyway, it already had the house tile scrub.
But I think it was, even though we'd got it all planned, it was still hard to imagine the last couple of weeks in the house and what it would actually be like.
And all the herbs and spices in the cupboards.
And thinking we'll just use things up and whatever we've got in the last week we'll use that up. You can't just, I think.
And as soon as you lose the fridge, really, it's all over.
And things like the box that we decided to keep of our 2 crystal champagne glasses and the 2 Peroni glasses.
The important stuff.
But basically a box of crockery to keep. We thought we'd keep that, put it up in the loft space, so if and when we come back we can get that down and at least have something to start with.
Something that you'd label as well.
Yes. Didn't do that, left that till the last week, realised we'd sold the big ladder, so the little step ladder didn't quite cut it. You were on your tiptoes basically throwing it up into the loft.
Gently, but yes.
So if you're ever downsizing and getting rid of everything and you want to put something up in the loft before you go, don't sell your big ladder before you put things up in the loft. Seems like an obvious thing now.
Well, the ceiling was higher than I remembered anyway, for a start. The selling of items worked.
Yeah. Yeah, all that selling on Facebook Marketplace finished up in the last week perfectly.
And what you said, if you get the right price, there's 10 people within 2 hours pretty much asking.
But I imagined that we'd be done way before the end and it would just be cruising and enjoying.
Or even a day, even the day before, so that you could relax by the pool.
Last day was going to be sitting by the pool sipping Chardonnay. There was none of that. Right up until...
We didn't have a fridge to have cold Chardonnay.
Right up until 30 minutes before we were out the door leaving the house, we were still wiping things down and sweeping. But equally, if we'd stayed longer and decided to keep, because at one point we were going to finish on the Friday, stay for the weekend and then leave on the Monday. If we'd done that, we would have just left things, probably would have had a Friday afternoon not doing anything and then spent all weekend doing that. Whereas this way, we've had all weekend with your brother and his family in Sydney. And now here we are sitting by the Harbour Bridge and the Opera House, relaxing and reflecting. Much better. Crazy, 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 and then finish and go, and reflect.
But we didn't have to have a garage sale.
No, it's all Facebook Marketplace, or might as well giving stuff to my students because they're all refugees and they appreciate stuff like that. All the blankets, sheets, bags,
Some of it is that though, that you're quite happy to give stuff away, but you want to give stuff away to someone who will use it.
Yeah.
Or get a stiff and throw it out.
Didn't want to do that. We didn't. And we didn't, and we survived. But yes, done. Now we can look forward.
So we got to the airport after saying goodbye to family. We got there nice and early so we could enjoy the lounge. We'd been saving points for ages. It's the first time we'd done this, so we've got points to get us most of the way across the world and back. Cheers! And then we were pretty much ready to get on the plane to New Zealand. Check-in was nice and straightforward, and these were the little backpacks that are going to be our lives. Oh my goodness.
Are you excited? I'm excited.
Yes, this is it!
Here we go. I've seen the wizard when I wizard of New Zealand. So excited.
And then straight from Sydney into Queenstown. It was quite late at night though.
It was very late and we were setting up the tent for the first time ever in the dark.
Well planned, as always. We're ready to go and experience everything.
Yes. So set up the tent in the dark, woke up first thing the next morning and got straight into it.
So we were up and at 'em quite early, straight up the hill behind where we were staying to Ben Lomond. What we'd imagined was just a couple of hours, just stretch our legs, turned into quite an epic hike. It is amazing how quickly you get the elevation, but really it's stunning in Queenstown. Every which way you look is amazing, and the lupins We're everywhere. Beautiful colours. Yep, then it rained. So given that it was raining and it was cold, especially for tent life, there was basically no other option. We needed to head, I would say, head north. Sort of the inland road from Queensland to Christchurch was our plan. So heading up that road, you're immediately into the countryside, sort of like a British countryside, rabbits and sheep, cows, all of that. But yeah, the weather was nice immediately. So we headed towards the Mount Cook area. On the way, we stopped for a lovely run. Some of the track was quite wet, but that's all part of trail running and part of the fun and adventure that we like outdoors. Some of the bits were really Lord of the Rings, the swaying of the grass as things moved, and then nice beautiful water for washing your shoes off, which is always helpful. We'd been to New Zealand before, so we knew what we were expecting. When we were here 30 years ago, we hitched around, met some amazing people. This time we had the car which we'd hired, one for South Island, one for North Island. Definitely that was a good idea. The one area of New Zealand which we really haven't been to is the Mount Cook area. A couple of years ago with the kids, we'd been to the other side of Mount Cook. There was a walk that we did, which was a full day walk that got to some hot springs, but this time it was over to the other side to explore that area, and yep, it was stunning. We got in early before the crowds, which was definitely a good plan.
So I got up 5 o'clock this morning. It was barely light, it was freezing cold. I've got my thermal leggings on, 5 layers on top, a hat, buff, gloves, still cold, but we just went up the Sealy Tarn track, 2,200 steps, got to the top. It was a bit cloudy, but amazing views nonetheless, and this makes it all worthwhile. That's Mount Cook, and some more snowy mountains, but couldn't see them up the top, but the clouds are clearing now. Wow, amazing.
Oh, here we are. We've settled in a little bit to New Zealand. I still think we're slightly in shock of the difference between the tropics and the summer of New Zealand.
It was 3 degrees when we got up this morning, wearing, feels like every piece of clothing that we've brought, and hiked up 1,000 meters, so it was even colder.
But I think there's a difference though if you come here for a holiday and you bring all of the gear.
Yeah, we didn't.
We're slightly underprepared for that, but over-prepared for other things.
We just didn't expect to wear it.
Yeah.
But we've only been here for 4 days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. This is only our 4th day here. So I think we're doing pretty well. Adapting.
Yeah. So we had a nice walk along and then up the, how many stairs?
2,200 stairs.
Yeah. And that
Stairway
got to
to heaven. Only it was a bit cloudy, so you couldn't really see much of heaven. But the clouds cleared on the way back down.
Is that what it was called?
Some call it the Stairway to Heaven, it said in some of the blog posts I read.
But yeah, good few steps going up. And then I went up a little bit further to the clouds, and I stopped when I got to the clouds, and then turned around, jogged back down, caught up with you.
I came down slowly.
And then there was all the other tourists.
Many people.
Yeah, a lot of people.
So we set off at 7 o'clock, and there was a few other people already ahead of us, but it wasn't too busy, and some people coming down. But by the time we were coming down, busy. Just a constant stream of people.
But the road from Twizel to here was, 50 minutes?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it was a good drive. Up at 5, breakfasted by 6, a drive out to get here by basically 7. So there was parking still here.
Yeah.
We didn't go to the very end of the road. We stopped at the Mount Cook
because you now have to pay at the end of the road $5 an hour. It was free up until last week. 15th of December is when they started charging for it. We just missed it.
2025.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's a beautiful, beautiful spot. And watching, like being here, watching the clouds lift, that's pretty special.
Yeah.
Lots of fun.
But I think, yeah, I don't want to go cold places. We should just travel to warm places. I'm glad we're doing this, and this was part of the plan, was to come here and train, and we've done 3 good training sessions already for our Tarawera Ultra, so we wouldn't have done that in a hot place. We'd have just splattered on the beach and I would have done nothing. Certainly for the first 4 or 5 days. Whereas,
that was Sydney.
yeah. But here we couldn't do nothing, we'd freeze.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I think my legs need a rest for the next 2 days now.
But no rest for the wicked, says Ewan. I need to keep the legs moving. So we headed off, just enjoying the scenery. Every time you go around a new corner, you see Mount Cook from a different angle, or you see a different snow-capped mountain. And then we saw Tekapo. Yeah, the stunning colours of the water were just unreal. New Zealand is just unfiltered, beautiful glacial water, turquoise blues, and just a pleasure to drive through. Sometimes there's camper vans to follow, so you just chill out, drive slow along the road, and just to make the most of every minute. We were getting closer to where we were going to be camping that night, which was a lovely spot near the Church of the Good Shepherd, our church, and still more wildlife.
So this is our 5th day in New Zealand, so it kind of feels like the 5th day of our retirement, and it really started when we came abroad. It's the first day that I've been warm enough to wear shorts. It's a balmy 19 degrees Celsius, and in Cairns, if it dropped below 20 degrees, I was cold. How times have changed so quickly.
It's great how the wildlife comes to you here. You can be having breakfast and you get a whole family of ducks with their little ducklings walk across your feet, begging a little bit, making funny duck noises as you look out over the lake and enjoy life. It doesn't really get much better. Pretty soon though, after the people who were swimming in that lake, that was cold, pretty soon we had to get back on the road, and not too far, a couple of beautiful little stops, places like Geraldine, they were beautiful. All right, and then we arrived in Christchurch with lots of plans, lots of ideas, weather permitting, running. But before the running, we did manage to get into town, have a walk about, look at the beautiful River Avon, see some people punting, lots of fun. And then we did actually get to slow down. It was Christmas, so we were staying in a great Airbnb with a running host. How good is that? She pointed us out a local Hagley Park run, and then I managed to slip up into the hills on Boxing Day to enjoy some of the views again. So the hills 15 minutes out from the city are just as amazing as Queenstown. It only takes 20-30 minutes and you're up above the tree line, looking out into just some of the most beautiful countryside anywhere in the world. So down near the Scarborough Beach, just before Taylor's Mistake, Scarborough Beach has a wonderful park run. So we got up nice and early, headed in there. As always, it's nice and flat, runs alongside the beach, which at the end of the run, a lot of people get in for a swim. We thought, great idea, but it was chillier than expected. Just halfway along where you run, there is the famous beach cave. So we had a wander through that, up over it, round to it, inside it. Lots of fun exploring. I think we both had a good experience through the beaches. And yeah, just chilling out along the beach, enjoying the beautiful weather. We managed to head over the headland down to Taylor's Mistake. It's a beautiful surf beach. A few people surfing. We were not game for that, definitely too cold. But had a lovely run up into the hills there. You can look over to Littleton Harbour as well as just around the Sounds. It's stunning. I came back the following day just to explore further, have a bit of a speed run up into the hills and down. zigzagging down. That's just my favorite part of everything. And then there's a local cave that you can cruise past. There are lots of locals out enjoying their Christmas holidays. But yeah, just a short 10-15 minutes up the hill. Okay, so pretty much we've seen Christchurch, we've had a good time, and then
go somewhere warm. Don't think we want to be cold, so rather than our original plan, which was a particular route around the South Island, we're just going to look at the weather forecast and go wherever it's warm.
Hopefully beaches and warmth, and maybe north. I think pretty much whatever happens, north in some way or form.